Interview session number 2 with James. April 5th, 2008. Copyright 2008. Wingmakers. All rights reserved. So what should people do in the midst of their confusion? I mean, what should they do to get clear?
The best place to start when trying to begin again is to simplify. This is a literate world where words rule the mind. The spirit behind the words is key. It is more important than the words. Most seekers draw confusion to themselves because they compare the words written or spoken by spiritual teachers, or worse yet, they compare the interpretations of the words from spiritual teachers. Language was invented to facilitate trade and barter, commerce, and later culture. Language of our world is a third-dimensional construct that is misleading and imperfect. So with words, be careful. I'll give you an example. I can tell you the core truth in as little as 2 sentences. Here it goes. Just as the sun is the presence of God in our collective universe, you are the presence of God in your local universe. You are a light being in a universe of equal beings, and each one is just as essential to the whole. So, you see, in these 2 sentences, I have told you the seeds of truth from which all other wisdom arises. There is nothing to be confused about in this truth, unless, of course, you fall back on your historical knowledge. So if you are confused, you must bear some responsibility for your confusion as it comes to you out of comparison. Take the first sentence. Just like the sun is the presence of God in our collective universe. What does it mean? The sun and God are one and the same? Well, for many this would be heresy. In some periods of our history you would have been killed for saying this, and yet it's the truth, though it's more complex than simply saying the sun and God are identical, so the words themselves begin to confound truth. So to simplify your own truth, you need to have a framework from which your beliefs arise. The framework of Lyricus is to live a love-centered life by expressing the 6 art virtues to all within your local universe. As you do this, you become a conductor of your emotional system, and you become the presence of God in your world. It's a very simple framework, and one that springs forth from the most ancient of worlds, yet there's really been no evolution provided to it. It's not undergone interpretations. It has not been embroidered by any religious institution. It is not owned by anyone.
Mm-hmm.